V gets, yo, what's up, guys? Hope y'all are doing well. Arsenal are not going to win the EPL. I'm kidding. I have no idea if that's going to happen. I do know that it's way too early to get on that train that Arsenal are going to be champions. They're already champions. There is so much football to be played. There is so much football to be played. There's 10 more games to be played. Anything could happen. Even if I was thinking, even if they beat City and they beat City, I mean, they annihilate City, right? And they played really well. There's still the other teams that they have to play against, and there's a lot of teams where they could tie, they could lose 2 games. Who's to say they lose against a bottom of the table team or a mid-table team? That could very much happen. I can see that happening. Just like City could end up beating Liverpool because somebody was saying that, oh, that's the game that they have to win, and they're in good form as of lately. City, they've been winning so far 6 in a row, if I'm not mistaken. So if they beat Liverpool, they're most likely to catch up to Arsenal. Yeah, they could beat Liverpool. Liverpool's not doing that well. Liverpool are kind of on and off. So if they beat Liverpool, who's to say that they lose against a mid-table team? It could happen, or they tie. So for Arsenal, I think it's way too early to be announcing that they're gonna win. I remember the mid-season, like the mid-table, the mid-season when I started rewatching football again, people are already saying that they were going to be champions, and I was like, it's mid-season though. Why are people saying that they got this, that they're going to win, knowing that there's this big great white Manchester City right behind them? So way too early in my opinion to be calling Arsenal the champions. I also don't like the fact that Arsenal, every time they don't do this anymore. I haven't seen them do this in the last 2 games, but whenever they won away, they would go to their fans and start jumping up and down and the ole ole and the ale ale. There's nothing wrong with celebrating a victory, but to do so in that fashion, as if you won already something, as if they were going to give you a cup right afterwards, it doesn't look good for a team like Arsenal. That's reserved. I'm sorry, but that's reserved for smaller teams. One example that comes to mind is the Portugal versus, if I'm not mistaken, Iceland in the World Cup. I forgot what World Cup, maybe the 2014. I don't think it was the 2018, but whatever. And Iceland won, and Ronaldo's comment about like, oh, it looks like they won the tournament, like it's such a big deal. Yeah, because you're beating a huge team like Iceland, and I'm sorry, you're beating a big team like Portugal with you, Ronaldo in this case, playing in it. That's no small feat. That's a big deal. That's a huge deal, and especially for a little team like Iceland. So it's understood that they're going to be celebrating as if they won. They won it all. So Arsenal doing that, it's cringy, dude. Nothing wrong with celebrating, going to the fans and clapping, thanking them. That there's nothing wrong, but jumping up and down, and you know what I'm talking about. Like, that was a little bit too much to be doing that. Because then, you know what? If they don't win the EPL, I almost feel as they're gonna go back to that. People are gonna start picking like, oh, you see, because we were celebrating, or look, that's why you shouldn't be celebrating that in that way. They're not gonna attribute to that. That's not the only reason that they didn't win, but don't do that. Now, as far as the game goes, Arsenal, I think pretty much I can say confidently that they coasted throughout this whole game. The first 30 minutes, it looked like Crystal Palace had a chance with a counterattack with Zaha and hit the post and then ricocheted off Ramsdale's leg and could have gone in. So lucky that it didn't go in. That could have caused Arsenal problems. I was pretty confident that Arsenal would have came back from that, even if it would have been a 1-0. And then after that, Saka scoring the 2 goals, Martinelli redeeming himself after the penalty that was missed against Lisbon. Odegaard played really well. Shaka did a really good job. Trossard, as always, just providing like amazing passes. Partey. Partey was phenomenal as always today. So sturdy in that midfield. One of the things that was notable to me was Zaha, the forward from Crystal Palace, that pretty much his fault. Those 2 goals were his fault. The one that got intercepted by Ben White, and then it took him like 1-2 seconds to go and try to make an effort and try to get the ball back. But it was kind of like a half-ass effort. He didn't really even bother to go and get the ball back. And then the 1-2 with I think it was Ben White also. Zaha made 0 attempts to try to follow Saka, who ended up scoring the second goal. I don't understand why they didn't take him out. That's the same thing that happened with Joao Felix, and he got taken out, and I don't understand why Zaha didn't get taken out. Now, I understand that they need Zaha on the field because they don't have any attacking force, so that's my only conclusion as to why they didn't take him out. But other than that, Crystal Palace looked like they didn't have any ideas on how to attack. There was one pretty good play towards the end with Schlupp and Easy. I think that's how you pronounce his name. I'm not sure. But aside from that, there was nothing else. So a really comfortable win for Arsenal. Anyways, guys, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Cheers.